All right, so I'm Celine. I'm the external for the current board, and I'm just gonna, as Mila said, I'm just gonna first introduce shortly what BASIS is, and then I'm just gonna give everyone time to talk about their own position. But I think Luca is sharing his screen, so if you could move one slide, I would appreciate that. Yes. So first of all, who are we? Luca. Oh, well, basically, the current board is Mila, the president, and we have Natalie as vice president, Sophia as secretary, Luca as treasurer, Christine as internal, with Sanjana as also the second internal, and I am the external. And what we do is basically, we have 7 elected members, but as you'll see, or as you already know, we also have 2 first years officers that are working with us. So we're officially 7, but actually 9. And within the board, we have 6 different positions. And what we do is basically we oversee how the association works overall, and we delegate relations with the university, relations with partners, finances, committees, social media, and so we basically oversee the entire association. And let's move on to who does what. First of all, Mila.
Yes, hi. So yeah, that's one of the only nice pictures I could find of myself. But yeah, I'm Mila. Just some info about myself. I'm half Dutch, half German, studying ISM in my 3rd year. And yeah, I've been the president for the last year roughly. And I will be for another few months. So in terms of tasks, I'm kind of the manager of the board. So I kind of oversee what's happening in general, but there's also some actual tasks that are specific to my position. So for example, I chair all the board meetings that we have. We currently have weekly board meetings. That's obviously something that might change, but any board meetings, I am usually chairing it. So I make sure that everyone gets their say in these kind of things. I'm also officially, I'm supposed to co-create the agendas. We actually do it that everyone contributes to the agendas. So again, it's kind of flexible, but I definitely always have to contribute and oversee the agenda points and make sure that there is an agenda for all the board meetings with Sophia, our secretary. I'm also the chair of the GA. I actually haven't been doing that this year because I'm not in The Hague and I'm not allowed to chair the GA if I'm not in The Hague. So Natalie, our vice president, has been doing that for the last year, but usually that is the job of the president. So yeah, it's a lot of presenting in this position. So if that's something you're interested in, this is a great position to go for. I'm also in charge of maintaining relationships with the university. So I have monthly meetings with a representative of the program board. I also meet with other positions within the university, such as the well-being officer, the assessor, just a couple of key positions within the university. And I just kind of keep them updated on what BASIS is doing, and they keep me updated on what is going on in the university. And Natalie also is involved in that. She's kind of always coming along with everything that I do because she does have to step in if I'm not available. So that's something I do together with the vice president. And in addition to that, I also have a lot of meetings with the advisory board, who, I don't know if you know who that is, but we have an advisory board who is essentially there to give us advice. So we go to them for any official questions about the policy manual, the statutes, how to approach certain things. Certain complaints go to the advisory board, and I basically kind of keep them updated on what we're doing. They keep us updated on their thoughts and give us advice. And again, that's something I do with the vice president. And yeah, lastly, it's a general point that I just make sure that everyone's interests, not just board members, but especially our members' interests, are always represented, both within BASIS and in the decisions that we make, but also at the university level. I make sure that I communicate what we as BASIS and our members want to happen. So yeah, kind of like a manager role, kind of overseeing everything. I might help out here and there as well. So it's a very flexible and fun role. Definitely recommend it. And I think we can go on to the next one.
Yes, so my name is Natalie. I'm the vice president this year. I was the first JUICE officer last year on the board, and I'm half Czech, half American, and I'm doing my second year of IS. So Mila has already touched upon a lot of my tasks and responsibilities that I share with her if she is not available to fulfill them. So I do step in for the president if they're not available to do certain things. So this year it has been mainly chairing all of the GAs or General Assemblies because Mila cannot chair them from the UK. I'm also one of the contact persons for the advisory board. I also handle some internal officer responsibilities. So I have some of my own committees and projects. So I do approving events, have regular meetings with my committees, and if they have some issues, I help them resolve them or keep them motivated, especially this year because it's been very tough at the beginning. And also one of my main tasks this year is I'm in charge of all social media. So I do all of the promotion for the board with all of the announcements and putting up all of the advertising for events for all of the committees. So that has been one of my main tasks this year, kind of managing and putting all together some kind of strategies when it comes to promoting stuff, especially now with elections. We had a whole plan kind of strategy to do, and yeah, I think that's kind of it. I have a lot of shared tasks with Mila, so she kind of already took all of my points.
Okay, yeah, so my name's Sophia. I'm the current secretary. I'm a second year and I'm half American, half German, and I'm a second, yeah, I already said second year, oh God. Okay, yeah, so most of my job is taking minutes, making agendas for the board meetings, but also for any other meetings we might have as a board with the university or other external partners, if we're all in a meeting together. Yeah, I help with the website a bit and help with, general organization. We use Podio, which is like a team management tool, and I upload like dates for things on there. And one of the great things about being secretary is that it gives you a lot of extra time. So I've been able to do a lot of like things that I'm interested in, but that aren't necessarily my job. So I sometimes help with social media, sometimes helping with other passion projects, like meeting with the diversity officer for Leiden University a lot. So that's great. Yeah, and then another key thing is making the book deal. So that happens twice a semester. We work with Study Store to give students discounts on books. So yeah. Oh, and newsletters.
Brought me to the next slide. So I'm Luca. I'm the current treasurer. I'm half Italian, half American, but I grew up in the US, and I'm also a second year. So, I mean, my jobs are a little bit more straightforward than what you'd expect. I manage the budget, so that includes meeting with all of the committees prior to creating the budget, and then working with them to create what will be the overall budget, as well as including things that are considered board expenses. So things that money doesn't go to the committees, but is used to run the organization. And then I maintain the financial cash flow and the bank accounts. There's no actual cash this year, at least, of everything being online. So mostly just bank accounts and the accounting software. I deal with any payments or invoicing. So that includes reimbursements to committee members, as well as other people we use when we have hoodies printed, things like that. I deal with payments going out in invoices we receive, or things going to the city for permits, anything like that. And then, yeah, I maintain clear accountancy. So that goes with what I said before. I maintain the accounting software, make sure everything is registered correctly and all our expenses are accounted for and all money coming in is accounted for, since mistakes can happen. And then when those do, I have to spend some time investigating and figuring out what exactly happened. And then, so yeah, that's so I can produce the final review for the General Assembly. And then I can, yeah, if the General Assembly requests it, I can provide a view into what's going on in our current finances. And I'm in charge of the committee's reimbursements, like I said. I also personally run the basis website, the more technical things for like other things Sophia does a lot. That's not necessarily something the treasurer has to do. In the past, it's always kind of fallen to the treasurer because they've known the most about websites and coding and things like that. But in the future, it doesn't have to. There's nothing written in stone there. And then I've also been helping out with some of the more legal things, just because I'm this kind of thing I'm interested in. And I think that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Christine, and I'm one of the two internals together with Sanjana. And basically, we have divided the committees along with Natalie, who also has some of the committees. So we each oversee a number of committees. I oversee 10. Practically, it's 9 because travel is inactive this year due to obvious reasons. But yeah, we act as a liaison between the committees, the projects, and the board. And what we do is we approve events. We make sure that each committee and project that they have the best practices, that we are up to date with what's going on, how they're doing, and just maintaining links with them. And we organize committee heads meetings. Yeah, Sanjana.
Hi, I'm Sanjana. I'm the other internal. And yeah, Christine and Natalie already mostly said what we do, but yeah, I have 11 committees and also kind of 10 because some are inactive. But so yeah, so it's basically just a lot of meetings, a lot of coordination. Being an internal also means a lot of socializing. A lot of making sure that everybody feels comfortable and you just have to take care of your committees, and that's it.
I think next slide to Celine. I don't know if Luca, next slide.
Sorry, it wasn't working.
Thanks, Luca. I'm Celine. I'm a third year in international studies, and I am the external. And what I basically do is I get all of the discounts. I talk to external partners, trying to get some partnerships for both the organization, and usually like committees also do reach out to me if they want me to go and talk to someone, if they want to, include an organization with their event. But I also look at contracts, and we kind of made it more clear this year that external works more with contracts, and like if committees make their separate deals or partnerships, I usually go over the contracts and work with them on how to make it better. So and also one important part about external is I also go to meetings with the assessor once a month, and with all of the other associations. It's also important that we have good relations with all other associations, so that we help each other out. We also do events together. So that's basically what external does. Pretty much the name explains itself, all of the external relations. Yeah.
So the general tasks that are divided amongst board members. So for instance, one of them, like I already said, is maintenance of the official basis website, which is something I do. The creating and maintaining all aspects of the social networking and media is something Natalie does this year. Maintaining the basis policy manual and statutes, that's something we've kind of all done together throughout the year and worked on together. So that's, and because that takes up a lot of time as well. It depends on the personal priorities of your board. They might not be, and also since we didn't have as much, we're more like a caretaker board, that kind of thing. We didn't have, we focused a lot more on the policy manual and statutes. Attending STOP, Grover, and Beehive meetings and other community meetings. A STOP is a study association for study associations, is the best way I've always explained it. Grover is GA kind of like meeting with all of the biggest study associations at the university. And the Beehive, you know, is the place across the street. They're working to create better communities. So they also hold some meetings. Of course, attending committee events and having the answers to any questions that community members or members of our association might have. So it isn't all hard work. Here's some fun pictures from this year. There's more to this one of me stuffing my face. Oh, well, at least it looked nice in the other one. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, even this year where we've barely managed to see each other and we've barely managed to do any, you know, things in person, we've still had fun and we've still done some nice things. So it's definitely great. And especially next year, I think things will be a lot better and even more fun. So for sure. And I mean, a lot of these people I would barely be friends with without a basis. So here's some more pictures. These ones are also include some from the last board. So that's how you can see some more in-person events. But yeah, it's just lots of fun, and being on the board, I mean, it's a great opportunity to make friends and really kind of build a community, not only within people on the board, where you'll become super close with, but also just like the BASIS community in general. You're so involved with it, knowing, past board members, advisory board, election committee, all these other people, all the people within committees. You really just get to know everyone, even if it's not super well, but it definitely expands your social network and gives you a lot of new friends, and will introduce you to people that you might not have ever talked to normally otherwise. And some more photos, past years. Yeah, and I think that's the end of our presentation. So I don't know if there's anything any of the other board members wanted to add.
I'm just going to completely interject here to have that on the recording. I think your current board deserves a big thank you for the work, additional thank you to the normal thank you that it already deserves for the work this year. I think finding the motivation at times to be on the BASIS board can already be hard and can be a lot of work at times. And I think that you guys powered through this year, as well as you guys deserves a big thank you on top of it. And I think the thank yous don't come very often in these positions. So yeah, big thank you to you guys.
Thank you.